Yeah, Jim, we just got that decision from the judge on whether or not Donald Trump has in fact violated his gag order again. And the judge has decided that, yes, Donald Trump has now violated it for the 10th time, and he has now been found in criminal contempt yet again. It was a historic decision when the judge decided that he had violated it the initial time. Prosecutors argued he did so on four more occasions. And now, the minute that Donald Trump walked into this courtroom this morning, the judge said that, yes, he had violated it. And he said going forward, if Donald Trump violates it again, he will consider jail time.
Inside Donald Trump's prison cell, the surroundings are like any other small enclosed space. The walls are gray concrete, and a narrow cot with a thin mattress is the only piece of furniture. A tiny metal sink and toilet combo sit in one corner, while a small barred window allows a sliver of natural light to filter in. The sound of clanking bars echoes through the air as guards patrol the hallway outside.
What is...
President Trump is 76 years old. He will die in federal prison.
Trump spends his days pacing the limited floor space. The once powerful man now finds himself in a place of confinement.
The breaking news this Monday, May the 6th, 2024, is the former president of the United States of America, the former loser guy, one Donald J. Trump, has been found in contempt of court for a third time. There is now going forward a distinct possibility that he will be locked up for breaking his gag order. One question: should he be locked up? Should he face jail? Press the like button if you say yes. There is something that I will put out right now. There's this notion going around by people who work at like Newsmax, Fox News, and on X or Twitter, whatever it's called. If Trump goes to jail, it will mean he'll be a martyr and he'll definitely win the election. Deep down, I can tell you one-on-one, he doesn't want to go to Rikers. He doesn't want to be locked up. He doesn't want to go down in history as the president who was jailed. He can say it was political. He can come out with all of those nonsense. But I think he dug his own hole.
Ordinary, Kaitlan, that here you have a judge threatening to jail a former president of the United States if he cannot abide by this gag order.
And what's different is the last time he made clear that this was an option, Karen, but now the judge is directly saying it to Donald Trump right now inside that courtroom. As Donald Trump, we are told by reporters inside the room, is looking at this judge. He's saying, I don't want to have to take this step, but this is going to be the next option if you continue to violate.
Now, it just came out, Columbia just canceled their commencement. Axios. Columbia just canceled their commencement. That shouldn't happen. And it also came out that the protesters, many of the protesters, are backed by Biden's donors. Okay? Are you listening, Israel? I hope you're listening, Israel. Hope you're getting smart. But they're backed by Biden donors. That's where the money's coming from. And I'm not surprised at all. There's many other articles, many of them having to do with the gag order and the unconstitutionality. Absolutely no case. It's a political hoax. It's election interference. Anything they can do. And even the witnesses they want to bring up, they have nothing to do with the case. This is a ridiculous situation. Not fair. Not fair. But we will fight. Thank you.
Yeah, what do you think, Norm? I saw you nodding your head while Tom was talking.
As a matter of law, if the prosecution can show that Trump had a mixed motive, but he would not have made these payments but for the campaign, legally the judge is going to instruct the jury that's enough to establish the intent to commit a crime. Then you have the phony documents, you have the cover-up, guilty if you find beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, the other evidence that the prosecution wants also came in through Hicks, because she also testified that she did not believe some of what Donald Trump told her, and that he made some admissions like, isn't it better that this came in now after the campaign than during the campaign? So there was ammunition for both sides, but that's the controlling legal issue, Jessica.
As you know, they've taken away my constitutional rights, so I'm not allowed to answer that question. This has never happened in this country before. It's a ridiculous thing. It's a ridiculous case. I did nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong. Take a look at Greg Jarrett this morning. He went on. Take a look at Andrew McCarthy or Jonathan Turley or Mark Levin. It's like they say there's no case here. And yet the judge has gagged me, and I'm not allowed to talk about, I guess, his total conflict. The judge is totally conflicted, and you ought to take a look at it. And I'm not supposed to be talking about it. But I am allowed to say that the judge has a conflict that like nobody's ever had before. You ought to take a look at it. He's taken away my constitutional right to speak. I was in Miami this weekend, and reporters are asking me questions, the same questions like you're asking me, and I have to say I have a gag order, I can't speak about it. Never happened before, ever. Number one. Number two, it's a fake trial. They have no case. And it's been absolutely proven now. They have no case whatsoever. This is Alvin Bragg doing it for political reasons for Biden. This is a Biden trial. He's a crooked president.
There is no new Donald Trump. The Donald Trump that you see today is the same Donald Trump that people who have been watching him closely for years and who I unfortunately had to watch over the last several years. It's the same Donald Trump. He is, as Judge Kaplan, the presiding judge in this case, said, he's somebody who can't control himself. And he can't control himself because he's a deeply disturbed, a deeply morally bereft human being who has no conscience, has no morality, has no empathy, has no remorse, and is sadistic, as we saw during the trial, and as the jurors saw in the trial, right in front of their very eyes, that he had nothing but contempt for the woman that he raped and libeled and defamed so many times. This is a sick man. He is a bad man. And what's most disturbing about this is that so many people make this about politics, that they want to support him for whatever reason or because they've done it in the past, and they pretend that he is not who he is. And many of them, I mean, some of them are ignoramuses, but many of them in the upper reaches of his political party know better. They know who he is. They talk about who he is behind closed doors. They know he is an evil man. They know he is a sick man. They talk about his mental deficiencies, his psychological disorders. They talk about what a pathological liar he is. And then when somebody asks them to go on the record to talk about it, they say, oh, no comment. I didn't see the tweet. They say, like a presidential candidate recently did, I haven't been following the case or something like that. And they're all lying to protect a pathological liar. And it's about time that these people look themselves in the mirror and start telling the truth. Okay, it's better for them in the long run to start telling the truth and admit that they've been covering up for a sexual predator, a criminal, a thief, a man who does not deserve to hold any office, let alone the highest office in the land. But this is, again, it's not about politics. It's about right and wrong. And people need to start looking at it that way.